Hello to the listeners of the Axioos podcast. I'm Amir, and today we're going to talk about a topic that might seem pretty serious under normal circumstances, but when you look at it from a humorous angle, it can really make us laugh. Yes, ridiculous crimes. Since we were kids, we've seen in movies how smart thieves are, how they come up with complicated plans, how well they understand technology. But the truth is, some of these criminals basically use their brains just to keep their hats from falling off, just to keep their hats on their heads. These are the same people who, even if they ever found an honest job, would probably mess that up too. Today, we want to take a look at some of humanity's masterpieces of stupidity in the world of crime. True stories that even made the police laugh. They left judges astonished and people dumbfounded. So get ready to have a good laugh today and ask yourself, can someone really be this stupid? When a thief arrests himself. Alright, let's get to the first example of these pure acts of stupidity. Stories of thieves who were so dumb that they literally gave themselves up to the police or even arrested themselves. The sleepy thief and the half-eaten pizza. Imagine breaking into a house to steal, but you're so tired or careless that you fall asleep right there. This actually happened. In a city called Victoria in Australia, a thief broke into a house. It was midnight and the guy was really tired. He went into the kitchen, found a half-eaten pizza, ate a slice, and then fell asleep right there on the couch. The homeowner woke up in the morning and saw a thief sleeping on his couch, snoring away. His pizza was half gone, so he called the police, and when they arrived, they arrested the thief with a half-eaten pizza next to him. This is the peak of being relaxed while committing a crime. A selfie with the money and the location of the jail. Have you ever heard people say, don't take selfies, it might get you into trouble? Well, this really did get this guy into trouble. Someone in Florida, USA, robbed a house. After the robbery, he took a selfie with the money he stole and posted it on Facebook. Up to this point, there was no problem, but the issue was that his phone's location services were turned on, and the exact location of the house he had robbed was recorded on the app. The police simply checked Facebook, found him, and arrested him. I think they should hold a digital intelligence training course for thieves. Please arrest me, this is the height of stupidity. A man named Matthew Hoffman in Ohio, USA wanted to go to jail. Why? Because he had nowhere to stay. He called 911 and said, please come and arrest me, I want to go. The jail operator asked, why? He said, because I have nowhere to sleep and I'm hungry. The police came and asked him, have you committed a crime? He said, no. The police said, then we can't arrest you. So the guy just wandered off and went and cut down a tree, so they could arrest him. The police came again and saw that he had cut down the tree but said, this is a minor offense, we can't put you in jail for it. This time he went and stole something from a shop, and finally the police arrested him. This is truly the height of desperation in trying to find shelter. Escaping from prison with a ridiculous method. So up to this point, we've talked about friends who gave themselves away. Now let's move on to prisoners who tried to escape, but their methods were so ridiculous that it turned into a comedy. Escaping with a clothesline and a free fall. Imagine you're in prison and you want to escape. Do you weave a rope? Do you make a plan? This guy in Alaska, USA, went for the clothesline, a prisoner named Mark Brancato. He tried to use his bed sheets, which he had tied together, to climb down the prison wall. Down. But the sheets weren't long enough, and halfway down the rope ran out and he fell from a considerable height. After that, with his arms and legs hurting badly, he had to go back to prison and say, don't help me escape, I'm in pain. The thief with the frozen truck. This is truly a masterpiece of stupidity. A thief in Finland wanted to rob a bank, and for this he rented an ice cream delivery truck. Yes, you heard that right, an ice cream truck. Then he parked the truck behind the bank and tried to climb over the bank's wall. But the bank wall was so slippery that he couldn't climb up. Then he abandons the ice cream truck and runs away empty-handed. The police find the truck and easily identify the thief from his fingerprints left on the melted ice cream. A bank robbery with an ice cream truck in cold Finland by a forgetful thief and his wallet. This is one of those stories that just makes you lose your mind. A thief enters a store and empties it out. After the robbery, he hurriedly leaves the store. But in his rush, he leaves his wallet on the counter. Yes, you heard that right. His wallet with all his documents, his ID card. The store owner finds the wallet and calls the police. The police easily identify and arrest the thief using the information in the wallet. This isn't even called theft anymore, it's career suicide. Foolishness in disguise. Some of these thieves decide to wear disguises so they won't be recognized. But then that disguise itself just becomes a source of laughter and trouble. The invisible thief. Imagine you want to become invisible to steal something. What would you do? Well, this guy in Florida came up with a creative solution. He pulled a clear plastic bag over his head. Yes, clear plastic. Then he went to rob a store. But the shop owner easily saw his face through the plastic and called the police. When the police arrived, they arrested the guy with the same plastic bag still over his head. A thief with a Spider-Man mask and turtle speed. Now this one is really like a movie, a real buddy comedy. In North Carolina, USA, someone decided to wear a Spider-Man mask for a robbery. But the problem was, he wore the mask in such a way that he could barely see or move. He went to rob a store, but he was moving so slowly it was like he was a turtle. The security cameras caught it all. They recorded all his slow and hilarious movements. The police easily found him after watching the footage, because no one else in that area moved that slowly wearing a Spider-Man mask. A fake beard and liquid glue? This is truly the peak of creativity and ingenuity among robbers. A man in Texas? In America, he decides to stick on a fake beard for a robbery. But instead of using special theatrical glue, he uses traditional liquid glue. After the robbery, while he was trying to escape, the beard was stuck to his face and he couldn't remove it. Because of the pain from the glue in the beard, he ended up in the hospital. The nurse also gets suspicious because of the strange condition of his face and calls the police. The police arrive and arrest him with the beard still stuck to his face. I think after this, every thief should take a makeup course. Even a professional would notice it. Some thieves think they're really smart and come up with plans more complicated than movies, but these so-called clever heists aren't really that smart. But in the end, these supposedly clever plans fail in the dumbest way possible. Stealing diamonds with carrots and hot sauce isn't real. But there are a lot of stories like this, complicated thefts involving strange and unusual tools. For example, an imaginary heist we've seen in movies, like using a carrot instead of explosives to open a safe, or using hot sauce to blind the guards. Of course, these things mostly happen in movies and cartoons. But what's interesting is that some real-life thefts have actually used these kinds of ridiculous ideas. There was a real case in Florida where a man wore an ice cream vendor costume to rob a bank. And he tried to break the bank's bulletproof glass with a small hammer. Well, obviously he didn't succeed and got arrested. I mean, an ice cream vendor with a small hammer trying to rob a bank. Please don't give the money back. I made a mistake. This is just another one of those things you only see in movies. A robbery in California. After robbing a bank, he runs away, but a few hours later suddenly regrets it. He calls the police and says, "I robbed this bank, but I regret it and want to return the money." The police, who couldn't believe it, asked him why, and he said, "I felt guilty. What I did was wrong." So the police came, respectfully took the money from him and arrested him as well. So in a way, this thief's conscience waking up was really strange and unusual. Technology crimes. High-tech, but with zero intelligence. You might think that in the age of technology, crimes have become smarter too, but you're wrong. Some of these thieves, even with all the technology available, still manage to do their jobs in the dumbest way possible. A hacker with the password 123456. Imagine someone wants to hack a banking system. Lots of advanced software, lots of complex coding. But this guy went to a place called New Jersey in America to hack a system. When the police arrested him, they asked, "What was the password?" He said, 123456. Yes, really. The simplest and dumbest password possible. Was he really that sure that no one would ever think a professional hacker would use this password? But he was wrong. An online thief with Facebook left open. This one is similar to the story of the selfie with the money, but a bit more complicated. Someone in Michigan breaks into a house and starts stealing. But he forgets to log out of his Facebook on the homeowner's computer, so when the homeowner comes back, he sees that a stranger's Facebook account is open on his computer, full of photos and personal information of the thief. Of course, he calls the police and the thief is easily caught. I think I should offer a cybersecurity lesson for criminals too. The thief YouTube and the video of the crime, this one is just pure show-off and stupidity. A friend in England. After stealing from a shop, he proudly uploads a video of his theft to YouTube, showing in full detail how he committed the theft and what he took. The police, who were quite surprised by this stupidity, easily found the video and arrested the thief. Honestly, some of these people are willing to do anything just to get attention, even if it means ending up in jail. Well, we've reached the end of our journey through the world of stupid crimes. Did you see how many strange and bizarre people exist in this world? In the end, you could say that the world is always full of surprises, even in the world of crime and criminals. These truly ridiculous and often unbelievable stories are a fascinating kind of hidden history themselves, ones that might never ever be formally written down or officially documented in any conventional books or historical records. What other ridiculous crime stories have you heard that really made you laugh? In your opinion, what is the most absurd crime in history? Be sure to tell us in the comments, because we're eager to know your thoughts and interact with you. Your support gives us the energy to create even more interesting episodes. So until the next podcast, goodbye.